Hello and welcome. In this video I will be changing the oil and the filters on this Mondeo. So let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is chuck a piece of carpet underneath because the floor's damp and I'm getting old. Then I'll get my oil tray and the sockets I need to undo the nut and we'll get the oil out. So underneath the Mondeo you've got this lovely, I don't even know what material this is, but it's under engine protection, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8, I think it's 8 10mm bolts that we need to undo to be able to drop it so we can get to the sump. So I've got my little deck with a 10mm on, and I'm just going to undo it this way. So much faster. There. Try and not put the bolt to the end of the socket. It's still got this one stuck as well. So do this, get frustrated which fell out, another 7 or 8 more times, and then we'll be able to slide this out. This one, not so much, although, come on, be good to me. I think we've pulled over that one before. So now we can get to the sump, which is there. And it's a bit wet down here. We have an oil leak somewhere. Right, so I'll go and get the massive nut, I'm gonna get the socket I need for that. It's gonna be like a 19 or something. It's pretty big, and then we can get this oil out and use my nice new shiny oil pan. It was a 21, not a 19, which surprised me. That is massive. And I've gloved up as well to protect me. That was a relatively clean dismount for the oil. Now we'll just let the oil drain. So the oil we'll be using today is Miller Oils XF Premium Engine Oil 5W30 fully synthetic. As you can see, for petrol, diesel and hybrid engines. It meets all the spec we need for Ford, with a Marl oil filter and a Marl air filter, which obviously goes inside that box there. So while I'm waiting for the engine oil to drain, let's get the air filter fitted. At least that's one job done. What we've got is a lovely weird shaped airbox with 2, 4, 6 posi screws. We take these screws out, fingers crossed we should be able to get to the air filter. May need to disconnect this airflow sensor, but there is a lot of spare cable, so it might be alright. We have a lid off. Can I just twist anything to give me a bit more space? There we have one air filter. It's been in there a while. Take our nice new one out. Looks very, very similar. Is it the same brand? We have a MAN filter that was in before and a Marl filter going in. They look identical. Probably made in the same factory. It does go in a particular way. There is a slotted, there's a slotted slot, and it drops into that slotted slot like so, and then it's just a case of doing up the screws. That's how easy that air filter was. Once all the oil's come out, and to be honest you could leave it dripping like that for hours, make sure you put a new crush washer. They're the copper washers on. You can buy loads of them relatively cheap in sets. I've still got a set that I use that's probably 10 years old. Spin it in, give it a wipe, and then get your socket and just nip it slightly. You don't need to ugga-dugga these, you don't need to tighten them really tight. That is it, that is all it needs. Now we just need to get to the oil filter, which is directly above you right now. So if I'm going to turn this camera around, hello, and then look up there, move, there we are. That is the oil filter housing. So I'm going to drag the oil pan back underneath it, see if I can get onto it from the top, because it's a plastic cover one where you undo the plastic cover and then the filter comes out with the plastic housing. But to catch any oil, I'm going to put my oil pan underneath. Let's see if we can get onto that. So if you follow this air compressor pipe down below this little canister here, underneath it, if I get the socket on it, easier said than done. Now I'll put the might need an extension. If I get a socket, which is 27mm in case you wondered, socket attaches on like that. You can probably just see the socket here. I think the extension might be too big, so that's where it is. I need to try and undo that with limited room. Undo that, drop any oil into my pan because that's underneath, and we'll be able to get to the filter. We've got hand tight now. Set the socket off so I don't drop that in the oil, and then with great difficulty remove this filter. Well, that's the filter housing. I don't know where to put that there. Here we have one very used oil filter, and I didn't think of where to put this. So what we need to do is prepare the housing ready for the new filter. So here we have our lovely new filter. I keep that clean in there, and we have this new O-ring seal. So we're going to pop off the old one because it's been on there for don't know how many years, how many miles, because I've got no records of when it was last serviced. This is its first service with me. Discard of that with your other oily stuff. And then you take your new one, drop it, I'm bringing it up to this camera, into the groove and pull it down so it's sat in the groove all the way around. Before I put this into the engine, I will run a bit of fresh oil around it just so it has a nice clean seal. I've got a lovely fresh bit of oil, so I run it all the way around this seal. That helps seal onto the engine. So I'm going to take this lovely air filter, I'm going to pop it into the oil filter housing. So just put the new filter into the housing. Now it's time just to put the filter on the engine. And you are supposed to be able to do this by hand. I'll just go in until it nips up and I can feel that it's made contact the housing made contact with the actual block. That's it. Filter is on. Now it's time to fill up with engine oil. The great thing about these Miller oil bottles is they do have inbuilt spouts. Pull them out. Well, it almost worked. Just top it up with some more of this and then check the level before I go for the whole hog, the full litre. So I've saved a bit. There's about 5.8 in the car at this moment in time, which is good, that works for me. Need to get the car on the level, start it up, check its level. So the under tray is back on. I put all except for one bolt in, because one bolt, the head was really bad on it, so I didn't want to have issues next time. Obviously the sump bung is in and nice and tight as it should be, not dead tight. We've topped it up with 5.8 litres at this moment in time. We're going to drop it to the floor. Obviously the new oil filter in and that's tight, got the new air filter in. Drop it to the floor, get the engine fired up, get the oil circulating around the engine, and then we'll check the levels again once its engine's off and the car is level on the floor. So let's get it back on the floor. So we need to start the car up and wait for the oil light to go out. If the oil light does not go out within 10 seconds, turn the engine off. So our oil light is up there, it's already gone off. Just check that it's not coming back on. I know I have an airbag light, that's for a different thing. The engine sounds healthy. It certainly does. That's it. We'll let the engine oil drop back down to the bottom and then we will check its levels and top up if required. We'll check the oil level. Now it's been stood. Get rid of that before that falls in on there. It looks like it's good, but I'm going to clean off that, pop it in again. I'm doing the little dippy dip. And we are just below the maximum. Excellent. That's it, the car is now complete. It's back on the ground, oil's in, we've checked the levels, all the filters are in, everything's nice and tight. Even managed to replace the number plate that the wife didn't know that I broke in an accident the other year. She not noticed. Either way, new number plate is on. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and please share if you want to share it. If it's been useful, make sure you tell your friends about it as well. Thank you to our patrons, Nick and Paul. If you're interested in being a supporter of the channel, the link will be in the description. Thank you very much, take care, see you soon, ciao!